I'm Pinterest Fountain. You're watching WHKY News, and we are joined by Miss Jackie McCool. She is the Development Director for Safe Harbor of Hickory. Now, first off, for many who may be unaware, what does Safe Harbor do for the community?
We are a women's ministry. It's a Christ-centered community for renewing, rebuilding, and recovery is our mission statement. We have three major arms of our ministry. One is our community center, where we are helping women who are experiencing homelessness move forward in life. We collaborate very closely with the Salvation Army. We pick ladies up there Monday through Friday in the mornings, anyone that wants to come to our program, and then take them back in the afternoons. Of course, they don't have to be experiencing homelessness in order to benefit from our services, but it's about helping to move them forward, as is all of our arms of our ministry. Then our signature arm of our ministry is our Whole Woman year-long residential addiction recovery program. We have a 70% success rate with that program. And it's very holistic. So we're helping the ladies get to the root cause of why they made the lifestyle choices they did. Almost always it's due to some type of trauma, abuse, a lot of the time. And we help move them forward in life. And they have tremendous success. One way the community can help us with that arm of our ministry is we're always looking for internship opportunities at about the 9-month point. They do an internship with one of the businesses in the area,
Okay.
ideally that it would lead to employment, but it doesn't have to. And we're always looking for sustainable employment for these ladies. They are very qualified to be working, sustainable jobs. And that is one of the ways that the community can help, especially the business community. And then another arm of our ministry is our Greenleaf transitional program and apartments. And the ladies in our recovery program transition there after their year program recover, in the house. And then they transition into the apartments. They could stay there up to a year. And it's at that point that we are helping them find sustainable employment, permanent housing, permanent transportation. We take car donations and we can grant that to them once they have employment and show sustainability themselves, have money in the bank and that type of thing. But women in the community can also apply for those apartments. We think of kind of the working poor, or maybe a single mom with, a couple kids, maybe trying to hold down several jobs, just trying to make ends meet. And we're there, a very strong support system for her to help move her forward in those same aspects: sustainable employment, permanent housing, and so on.
Okay.
And Resource Warehouse, of course, is our social enterprise. And a lot of people might be familiar with that. It's a thrift store, a reuse center. And they can, by donating things to Resource, they're helping support the ministry. By shopping there, they're helping to support the ministry. So that's another arm of our ministry.
Okay. And now, as far as the first part that you mentioned, as far as wanting to give back, you said that a lot of people who are come in may come from the soup kitchen. Now, if someone, maybe they don't go to the soup kitchen, or they're maybe embarrassed, to get the services. Is there an anonymous way that they can say, hey, I need help? They're crying out for help. How can they get this help without even being referred by someone?
They don't have to be referred at all. And they can just walk in the doors in our community center any given day. It's just for women, but all women are welcome to come. And so many times I see ladies, I don't know their story, but I see them walking on the street. I just want to go, come on over here. Here's a great place to fellowship and a meal. We serve lunch, and it's Salvation Army where we pick the ladies up, but we do collaborate with the soup kitchen also. We look for people, volunteers that want to maybe bring a meal in for that particular day. They can get on our calendar perhaps and commit to the first Wednesday of each month or something. But on the days that we don't have a volunteer group or individual bringing lunch, then we do collaborate with the soup kitchen also, since you mentioned them. And they're right catty cornered from us, and we can pick meals up from them for our ladies for the day. But any woman is welcome. And another arm of our ministry, another part of our programming, is our On Purpose classes. And that's also available for all women in the community. I'm taking one right now called Peacemaker. Another one is Pathways to Freedom. So it's emotional healing classes. We all have baggage, we all can benefit from the services here at Safe Harbor. Another one is safe people and boundaries, to learn our boundaries a little bit better. All those kind of things can really maybe hold us back a little bit from moving forward in whatever our calling is in life. So that's another arm of our ministry too.
And you mentioned, now it's been 2 years since the grand opening of your new facility. Tell me about how that has made an impact on the overall, success of the organization, and what has it been like since the pandemic as well?
Okay, so the community center is in our new building that I was talking about earlier. That's in our new building. Our On Purpose classes take place in the new building. We have childcare for those that are coming for classes, so we have room there in our new building for that as well. As far as the pandemic, we have been very, very blessed. God has really looked out for us, taking care of us. We had to shut our doors for a little bit in the community center last year, but of course we're back up with that. Probably the biggest hindrance right now from the pandemic is still the social distancing, that we can't have larger gatherings. We want to be able to bring our monthly supporters together. We want to bring our ambassadors together for gatherings. We want to have a larger gatherings for perhaps worship and that type of thing that we like to do here. Even larger meetings, larger classroom sizes. So we're limited in that regard because of the social distancing and the size of gatherings that we can have. That's probably our biggest hindrance. The women in our recovery program, we have room for up to 10 women at a time in our house. Last year, we just kept it at 6 in the early stages of the pandemic, so that should they have to quarantine, they would be able to do so. We have actually the capacity for 5 bedrooms. Okay. And we have 2 girls to each room, where during the pandemic, we were able to just to have 1 in each room. And so for the most part, we're still doing good. Our community has just really, it blesses me. They really have stepped up to the plate. The individuals have, churches have, businesses have. Another way that we are hindered, probably my biggest hindrance with the pandemic, is the churches being shut down, or smaller gatherings. We love to get out, and another way the community can help is to speak at the churches, the women's groups, seniors groups, Sunday service, whatever, just to share about Safe Harbor and let them know of the services that we do have to offer, that the churches are always seeing people that need help. And we want to let them know of what we have here so that they can send their folks our way. None of us can be all things to all people. So, but I'll be having back to my first church presentation next week. And I'm like, cannot wait. That's probably my favorite part of the job. So
I guess this was more of a personal question for the last question. Talk about, why do you feel it's so important to have an organization like Safe Harbor in the community? Like you said, we all have baggage and no one knows what the next person is dealing with. Why do you feel it's so important that Hickory, keep Safe Harbor around? And for people, who don't know about it, what has been the what's impacted you the most while you've been there?
3 things that drew me personally to Safe Harbor. I was getting ready to volunteer before I was offered a position to work here. 1 is that it's Christ-centered. 2, it's holistic. It is addressing mental, emotional, physical, spiritual healing. So it's very holistic. It's not just come and stay with us in our recovery program for a year and then life will be better. It doesn't work that way. And so it's like no stone is left unturned in our ministry. It's just like everything seems to be thought of for that. And it's also about a hand up, not a handout. To me, I think that's one of the most important reasons for the community to continue to support Safe Harbor. These ladies are moving forward in life and contributing to society, contributing to the community, and walking out into all that God has called them to be and do. And every single one of us have a unique divine purpose and reason for being here on this earth, including every single woman that we serve and their children. And you know what? It's not just their life that's being changed. It's not even just their children and their immediate families' lives that are being changed. It is generations to come. It's putting people's feet on a new path, a good path, a path moving forward in life rather than drawing on society and the community. They are serving a purpose, and I love it. That is the biggest reason I think that Safe Harbor needs to continue, and we are. We're growing, and actually, God is calling us um, to start reaching out into the Boone and
Okay.
Blowing Rock area with a ministry that had been up there doing prison ministry for women that we've collaborated with in the past, and now they're coming on board with us, and they're coming under Safe Harbor's umbrella. So we're expanding our services and reach as well. So it's so exciting to just be able to reach more women and children, you know.
Mhm. And well, before we go, just one more time, if you could give us, I guess, the best contact email or the phone number where businesses who can maybe help with internships for the women can get involved, or just volunteers from the community who say, hey, I want to come by and help out if they can.
Yep. So volunteering in businesses, churches, and to come on our luncheon tour, if I can just quickly say, that is a
Yes.
great way to see the ministry up close and personal and learn even more about it. It's an hour and a half. It's free. You have to call and make a reservation because we only have room for 9 at a time. But we would love for you to come out and see Safe Harbor. So you can call the office at 828-326-7233. And my email address is my name, Jackie, JACKIE, at safeharbor.nc.org.